Welcome back to This Week in Focus. The Ugandan government secured $19 million to help the Ministry of Lands have all land records computerized in 15 regions. The funds from the World Bank are to cover 15 regions, including Gulu, Lira, Mbale, Chibale, Masindi, Toro, among others.
In these videos, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Gabinda Demusoki, is vividly seen exchanging notes of the agreement contract with the managers of IGN France Consortium. In this contract agreement, 15 regions of Uganda that were left out in 2010, when only 6 regions were rolled out on the computerized system, also will be enrolled. These regions will include Gulu, Lira, Mbale, Kabale, Masindi, Toro. Others are Mityana, Luwero, Mpigi, and Soroti. Musoke says that this will go a long way in addressing challenges tested before, especially when it comes to instant retrieval of information and data in regard to land titles.
Before we started all these improvements, wherein we would have looked at the status of the records as they were. Storage was bad, management was poor, accessibility was difficult, so it was really heavier to access anything, and for you, the user, the client, it was very, very difficult. But the LIS is going to help us.
According to Musoke, the system has gone a long way in addressing issues of double registrations done before on land titles that has in the past sparked up wrangles. Apparently, the ministry is carrying out internal audits of the transactions that were entered on the system for verification.
One wonders why you can't find the file when actually operating a digital system. That is because we have not yet finalized the synchronization of the physical record with the digital record.
The computerization of the remaining part is expected to commence next month and to end in 2019.
The Minister of Education and Sports, Jessica Alupo, directed the selection board and all head teachers who converged at Kampala International University for the Senior 1 selections to admit pupils who scored 4 to 32 aggregates with the aim of reducing the number of school dropouts. Alupo also appealed to parents to encourage their children to join technical schools which so as to be job creators rather than job seekers, and also to help government achieve its Vision 2040 based on transforming Uganda into an industrial economy.
These are some of the head teachers of secondary schools across the country who have gathered here at Kampala International University to select students for Senior 1 intake. Whereas many of them had come with the intention of taking students who had only passed in the first and second division. But Education Minister Jessica Alupo, students with 32 aggregates shouldn't be left out. Alupo pleaded with the teachers to accept to take the students with 32 aggregates, urging that this will reduce on the high rate of school dropouts.
The learners who are considered to have passed that examination should have scored 4 to 32 aggregates. That is the law. Now my appeal to the head teachers is to consider all those children.
She also turned to parents and appealed to them not to discourage their children from joining technical schools, but rather encourage them. She stressed that through technical school education, the country will have more job creators rather than job seekers, a move that will help government achieve its master plan of Vision 2040, which is aimed at having an industrial economy.
We should work with them and the ministry to find suitable placements for them. For instance, in like those technical institutions which we have completed constructing across the country and will be open to the learners in June this year.
If they go into vocational training and the government supports them, at the end of it all, they can make a living. So I support the minister.
Here at the selection center, head teachers were pissed off with the Minister of Education for failing to budget for their facilitation. This, they say, has made the selection exercise extremely difficult for them.
Before we came, we got a circular that there will be no meals. And at this time, the government has not remitted the grants to the schools. Neither have they paid salaries for teachers. So I don't know how they expect us to operate. You come from Kisoro, you come from Arua, yet you're supposed to come to Kampala, find accommodation, transport yourself. So I think this is a weakness on the side of the ministry.
They decried the government's move to tax private schools, stressing that this move is a disservice to the children of Uganda.
Much as I know that there is no private students, these private schools are also teaching students of Uganda, like we in government do. So the government would have appreciated what the private sector is doing, being in partnership. And instead, they should have given them what they give us. Take their more laboratories, more buildings, instead of saying now, get half of your cake and give to the government.
The matter of taxing schools is not a matter of URA alone. It's not a matter of Ministry of Finance alone. It is not a matter of Ministry of Education and Sports alone. It is a matter of collective responsibility by government. And in case of any intervention, it is a matter that will get from the private schools through our Commission of Private Schools and again relay back to Cabinet where it will be discussed, and the outcome is again what I will not want to preempt here.
Last evening, government decided to start taxing all private schools to increase on its tax base and income.
Now, the leader of the Tabligh Muslim sect, Sheikh Mohammed Yunus Kamoga, and 17 others were once again arraigned in court and remanded back to Luzira prison, pending investigations into the murder and treason charges against them. Muslims flocked Nakawa court amidst tight security as they demanded police to expedite investigations and also produce their brethren in court, who they said have been kept in police cells for over 2 weeks.
Security was beefed up at Nakawa court, awaiting production of Tabligh leader Amir Mohammed Yunus Kamoga, who was brought to Nakawa court aboard a Uganda prisoners bus together with his co-accused. Amir Yunus Kamoga, dressed in cream kanzu, was received by chanting relatives and fellow Muslims, Allah Akbar, meaning God is great. Amir Kamoga, together with his accomplice, including his brother Sheikh Mutalda Kenya, were first kept in court cells before being produced to court. The suspects were later taken into court amidst security and takbir. The prison warders removed handcuffs as they took to their dock. These include Sheikh Mohammed Yunus Kamoga, Sheikh Mutaza Mudek Bukenya, Sheikh Fada Kalungi, Hakim Kinene Muswaswa, Mr. Arafat Serjoji, Badru Bukenya, Alex Okot, and Joseph Olanya. Others included Amir Kinene, Isa Nakasivante, Charles Okidi, Sheikh Siraj Kawoya, Sheikh Rashid Jingo, Sheikh Abdul Amar, and many others.
Police during the investigation, and that's how they do their things during others. That was before you were taken to remand.
Immediately, the State Attorney Anna Mtambi informed the court that the investigations into the alleged murder and treason charges is still underway, prayed for the adjournment. At this time, the defense lawyer Twaha Mayanja asked the state to expedite investigations, saying that the suspects had been under police detention and interrogations for a while, which sounds weird not to have completed investigations. The lawyer maintained that most relevant information to the case in question was already attained by the police.
There is still sufficient time. The 6 months have not yet elapsed, but we'll maintain our prayer that will be granted more time.
Sheikh Kamoga asked Umar to be calm, awaiting justice. Tabligh Muslims who turned up in big numbers at Nakawa court could not hold their pain, most of them jeered the magistrate. Others broke down in tears upon hearing the magistrate send back their beloved leader to Luzira prison. Prosecution alleges that the group, with others still at large between December 2014 and January 5th, 2015 at Kavule Ward, Buyemba, Mayuge District, Webaja and Watuba Matuga in Wakiso District, with intent to intimidate the public or sections of Muslims for a political, religious, social and economic aim, involved themselves in attacks towards Shiite and Tabligh Muslims, which resulted in murders. Court heard that the suspect allegedly shot and killed Sheikh Mustafa Bahiga at Webaja Mosque on Entebbe Road and Shiite leader Sheikh Abdul Qadir Muwaya at his home in Mayuge District on the 25th December and 28th December respectively. The trial magistrate Timothy Lumunye subsequently remanded the suspects back to Luzira till February 12, 2015.
To business now. The Ugandan government launched a 20-year aviation master plan seeking to elevate 4 airstrips to international airports. The dream plan will also have 3 airstrips turned into regional airports and 6 airstrips turned into local airports at a cost of about $430 million, as Kenneth Widow reported.
The master plan, the biggest aviation project ever to be executed in East Africa within 20 years, will see Entebbe International Airport expanded 4 times the current capacity and be able to handle 2 million visitors annually. The Entebbe International Airport expansion will see its cargo handling space expanded, construction of a fuel farm, United Nations base MONUSCO, terminal relocation, and other projects on runways and taxiways. Abraham Biandala is Works and Transport Minister.
The planned developments should be implemented as soon as resources allow, to avoid holding back the growth of this country.
Airstrips of Arua, Gulu, Kabale, and Kasese will also be constructed to international airports. Soroti, Pakuba, and Kidepo will serve as regional airports, as Jinja, Lira, Moroto, Barara, and Kisoro will serve as local airports targeting to uplift tourism sector.
Government is going into now making investments, the infrastructure that will help those in the tourism industry go in, like hotels, tour operations.
But as the Civil Aviation Authority launches this promising and ambitious aviation project, Uganda does not have an airline after the collapse of Uganda Airline in 2001. Kenneth Bwire, WBS News.
To the sporting world, the 2015 motocross season promised to be competitive as the first round got underway at the Uganda Motorsport Arena, Busika, with a number of riders upgrading to different classes of riding. Speaking to the press at their first round launch, 10-time national motocross champion Arthur Blick Jr. promised to compete for both the National Motocross and Motor Rally Championship titles.
I'm confident. I enjoy riding in the mud, so I don't think the weather will have any effect. Although when it's muddy, you're more likely to make mistakes, so you can always fall down. But this is the sport, it happens in the sport.
The CSC series is a major event, so it overrides the national championship. But riders will as well get national championship points and the East African championship points.
I'm confident to say that we plan to seal this East African Championship Series 2014. As you're aware, Kenya beat us last year in the East African Championship Series, and as we speak, Kenya is leading because for the second round in August we were not able to take a big team, a strong team. We took a small team due to lack of funding. So I'm confident now because we're going to field all the big team. We're going to field our full team.
Finally, after spending the entire 2013 nursing an injury, Sharif, the Lion Bogere, returned with a bang in 2014, impressively defeating all three of his opponents. The now stronger and healthier Ugandan, promoted by Golden Boy, has his eyes locked on the recently vacated WBC lightweight crown, as well as WBA.
The sharper offense, we saw the end of the first round with a sharp combination.
After spending the entire 2013 nursing injury, US-based Ugandan boxer Sharif the Lion Bogere returned with a bag in 2014, impressively defeating all the three opponents he faced after. Speaking about his boxer, regional trainer Ken Adams believed the third time Bogere shot at the world title.
What you notice is Sharif has improved above and beyond. He's considered now one of the best fighters out there. So the main thing that we want to do now is prepare ourselves, stay ready, and understand we got a possible eliminator bout for the WBO title. And once we win that, we get the shot at the guy that has the title. So
Adams added that Bogere is greatly improved and does not see anything stopping his prize fighter shooting at a major title in 2015. The now strong and healthy Ugandan, promoted by Golden Boy, has his eyes locked on the recently vacated WBC light welter crown, as well as the WBA.
Stay tuned in. Come follow your boy Sharif the Lion on Twitter at Sharif Bogere. You can find me on Facebook, the Lion Sharif. Instagram, Bogere Sharif. I love you all. Stay blessed. God bless you all, man.
Bogere sounding confident, intimated to WBS via Twitter that he is ready to face off any opponent for the world title. Frank Sirgo, WSTV, Kampala.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Anita Mwangazi, and the entire team wishes you a great week ahead.